Good evening to all America. I'm going to take the next few minutes to just really explain some things to people, and I hope they understand. My name is Joseph Samuel Catalano III. I am an independent presidential candidate for 2028. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. As most people know, at least in the world that I have chose to be in on this part of YouTube of Dabbleverse with my channel, that I'm a very obnoxious, loudmouth individual. I get very emotional. I get very angry. I've done a lot of things, but let me go back to the very beginning. When I was born in 1965, I came into a world that that was difficult times. Like any other child that's born, they hope that they're going to get the best parenting and they're going to grow up to be something successful. I wasn't dealt those cards, and before I even get into this, I want this whole video is got about putting blame on anybody. I take full accountability for my entire life. You understand? I made a lot of bad choices, but I learned at a very young age that when my father chose to step away and not be a parent, and my mother did the best she could, and I love my mother to death, and I was the oldest son, and I start getting into things little by little, doing stupid things, little, what kids do, But my mother taught me at an early age to you cannot let nobody just, without defending yourself, whether you win or lose, you have to defend yourself. It's just a way of life. If you don't, you will grow up being abused and used by every single person that knows your weaknesses. Now, me, I armed myself on the internet with everything that I've done bad. I put it out there, and people come back and attack me. I get that. I really do. But when people attack people that are in my family that are good people, now you're becoming a parasite, you understand? And I grew up, and I was very fortunate in my life. I get to the part where I'm doing some really bad things, and I always was smart enough to pull myself out to know, man, I don't want to go to prison the rest of my life. I don't want to get killed. People challenge everything on me, and I know people, and I've dropped names. One thing I know for sure, you should never drop any name of anybody you know. It's probably best not to do that. I've done all that. I put everything on the table, okay? And here we are now. I grew up, I was very fortunate to work in professional baseball, which was, without baseball was a big core to save my life. And another thing, this is not scripted. I'm pouring my heart out, and I'm saying it right from my heart. I'm not reading nothing. This is me. This is what some people want. Well, here, I want you to just understand this. And if I come out of this and still have haters, I'm going to still have haters. I'm still going to call, people going to call this is all crap. It's not. This is me. It is Saturday. It is at 6:42 p.m. Eastern Time, and I'm sitting at my desk. And a lot of people don't like me. A lot of people think I'm a moron. A lot of people think I'm dumb. Okay? Yes. Am I book smart? Not very book smart. Did I succeed in school? No, I did not. I chose not to. I grew up in a place that was very rough. As you know, today Chicago is a war zone, and it is such the whole city is up in arms with a lot of gang violence and a lot of drugs, and it is what it is, until someone gets in there and faces it head on the way that they do it. Is the only way. It's anything. It's the same thing in politics. They keep every year, getting up there, or every 4 years a president gets up there, he makes these promises. He comes from an Ivy League school. He's polished. He comes from money, and they keep talking. They put their smiles on, but they do nothing for us. They keep shutting us out, making it worse and worse and worse. Okay, and people at the end of the day, when it comes down to the voting, people that talk about changes got to be made, and they don't. They just crumble. So, is it the people being strong behind this? What they believe in, or are they just full of crap? I don't know. All I know is this: I chose to be a drug addict most of my life. Worst thing I ever done. I sheltered my children from ever knowing about that. I never would. I don't believe. I have family values about. You make your best life for your kids. I tried to be the best father I could be. I failed in many areas, but I'm not the worst of the worst. I didn't throw my kids to the street. I didn't force them into crime. I didn't do none of that. And some of my kids did some experience things that they went experience things where they had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations. But most of my children are doing very well, and it's because I stayed in their lives, and I gave them the best advice, and I taught them what my mistakes were once they learned what I was capable of doing and things that I've done. I've never, ever cared to have too many friends because I don't trust a lot of people, and I've always been a loner. But everything that I have accomplished in my life, and I don't like to talk about my accomplishment because people say you're a failure. Okay, to you out, you're a failure. But I will say this: if it wasn't for Major League Baseball and minor league baseball, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you. I could probably say that. It's the greatest game in the world and it saved my life, and I'm grateful for that. So just on a quick note, thank you, baseball, for giving me the opportunity to give you many years of service. I came on like a bat out of hell, and I inject myself and everything in this YouTube Dabbleverse, which is all satire. You know, I tell 100% truth stories. People rip it apart, and you know what? That's fine. When you arm people with the truth of your life, they will rip it apart, and they will come apart, and they will do whatever they can. So now, here I am. I make it through life. I do whatever it takes to put food on the table, and with many mistakes. I've lived and went down through a lot of dark roads. I've put myself in situations that the average person would not be able to stomach it. You understand this? I speak 100 from my heart here. I put myself in bad, but I don't blame nobody. I'm not saying to blame my mother. Okay, my mother didn't love me enough, or my father left. Okay, he left. That's fine. There's nothing I can do about it. He's gone and he's dead. Rest his soul in peace. My mother is alive. I try to have a great relationship with my mother. I always love my mother, and I'm grateful for the knowledge she did give me. My grandparents were aces. They tried. I was young when they died, and I just never cared about school. I don't read. I read okay. I don't write or spell. I don't know how to make paragraphs or put punctuals. I'm terrible at that, and we all know that because of how I act. Sometimes, you know, it's a simple thing. My wife says, why don't you just go proofread what you're sending before you send it, and maybe, you know, you could fix it. And she's tried to help me because my wife, when it comes to that part of life, she's very intelligent. And I just don't care. I just say, you know, it's more funnier if they can't understand it, make fun. I understand that I entered into the Dabbleverse, and that's a part of me that they're always going to rip on me. But people, trust me, when I tell you some people went in areas that they had no business doing, it makes you infuriated. And I've made threats of doxing. I've done this, I've done that. I've told people, you know, but I would never dox someone's mother, father, sons, daughters, grandkids. I would never do that. I've doxed my own self so many times because I'm an idiot. It's crazy. But let me tell you something. I do have intelligence, a level of a lot of things that you people don't have. Okay? So now I make it through life. I skate through life. And then, you know, my mistakes, your past will always catch up to you. That's why you have to be accountable. I've tried to be accountable for everything that I did criminally. I have. I paid the price. Anything that I owed, I try to pay off. I don't borrow money from people. I don't just spurn people. I try to do right by people, and I have a good heart to help people. And that's fine. I made my bed. I lie in it. I get that. But as far as my president, me entering the candidacy, which is, to people's eyes, the average person says, this is absurd. You're a scumbag. Let me tell you something. America was built for the average person like me to have the opportunity to run for any office in this great free world of ours, great free world of the United States. Okay? And yes, I might not understand government, but I'm willing to learn. I get up every day and I try to put one foot forward and keep moving and learning. Okay? And I'm doing that every day. I put the work in. Now, a lot of people say, it don't matter, you'll never get on the ballot. Well, see, here, I'm going to get on the ballot because I'm fighting for that. And that's going to be an eye opener and change the game. And you know what? If I make when I make the ballot in the states I need to, which I'm going to achieve that, because I'm not going to stop to it, because that's the determination I have. And that's going to change the game for people to say, this guy is so truthful from his heart. You can feel it. There's a lot of Americans today that are starving. Why the government does what they do, and why the government shuts them out. Why they didn't let their, and listen to me. I'm not going to ever get up to a podium and say, when I become president, I'm going to do this. I'm not. You can't make those promises. Well, I will promise this. You got one of the best people that could get up every day and fight for you. You understand? My health was deteriorating very fast, and I changed that around. And people say, listen to me. Exercise and eating properly at that point wasn't going to be the answer. I needed to go under the program of medicine to help me do it. I do eat healthier, and I'm doing that. I'm far from being 100% healthy, but I'm in the right direction. People still accuse me of doing drugs. I don't do no hardcore drugs anymore. I was an addict I started an addict when I was 18 years old back in 1983, and I quit officially doing street drugs in 2021. I went to prison, federal prison. Okay? People say that I'm a criminal. I'm not the worst of the word. And I'm not here trying to grift. I'm not trying to steal. I'm not trying. Now people going back to the, well, what about when the hurricane, you like, listen, yes. And I've talked about this over and over. Someone sent me money, but it wasn't for me to get out of town. It's for whatever I need because he knew that the lights were going to go off. And he made that statement. I don't have to mention his name. First of all, what anybody donates is not, nobody is forced to do that. If people donate, it should be no concern to anybody else. So I did, for content, like my brain thought, well, I'll just go on live and make them think that I left. The problem is I didn't leave when I was supposed to, and there was no way of leaving at that point. And that's the truth. And you guys know anything about hurricanes. If you don't leave when they tell you to, your only option is you better stay put and you better be high. We don't know what's going to happen. We would have got drowned out. But I was just going by history that hopefully that by the time it hits Tampa, that it would be died down enough where we wouldn't get hurt. And it worked out. But yes, I went on there like a bonehead and B-Dabbler Network discovered it. And that's fine. But they had their fun and that's fine. But as far as my campaign, I have never been more serious about something in my life. I've always believed in America. I've always tried to be the best U.S. citizen I could be, and I care very much. You know, I'm one person that can honestly sit down with any American that has struggled in life and say, I feel your pain, because I really do, because I live that pain every single day of my life. You know, people understand this. Every day of my life, I live this pain due to my own wreckage. You understand? And I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm not asking for people to like me. What I'm asking is, I'm going to get on the ballot, and that's the fact that you guys are going to have to face. And that's going to be the game changer. The game changer is, will enough American people see the redemption arc and see the realness of my heart? Because I'm on the same page with some of these people that struggle every day. And all America is not rich and successful. There's a lot of failures everywhere. And I'm also a strong believer. Every failure that you do is just a progression step to make yourself a better person. I don't want to sit here and talk about anything I've accomplished. That's bragging. I don't want to do that. I like talking about my mistakes. You know why? Because I want people to know the value of the lesson that's out of every mistake. I've made mistakes, and I've done some things in life that the average person would not be able to stomach it. You understand? I've seen so much bad. It's a nightmare. I have nightmares. I wake up every day and always something that comes across my way of my path of my past. But I don't sit there and cry about it. Well, how do we fix this? My past is always going to be a problem for me. It's always, because even if I corrected it, there's always going to be the negative people out there that's going to try to use it against me. But I'm doing everything every day to de-weaponize anybody to come and hurt by me this campaign. Okay? When I tell you that I have no control of the money, people think I'm trying. I don't steal. Number one, I'm not a thief, and generally I'm not a liar. Yes, I'm very capable of lying, just like anybody, each and every one of you. You understand? All I'm asking is the American people to give me a fair shake. And as far as the Dabbleverse, listen, I made my bed in that place, and I lie in it. But I think there's a lot of people that misjudge me in a lot of ways. A lot of ways. And the people that know me know that I'm a really good person, and that I really am working hard for this, and I stand by what I'm doing. I'm going to continue. I'm going to get on the ballot, and I'm going to continue going out. And here, I'm even taking the steps that, which I was told that if you start getting out and campaigning, there are people out there who will donate to campaign. It doesn't matter if it ain't about, oh, he got no shot. They'll help the cause, because you do need campaign donations to go all the way through. So instead of me sitting here, and if I raised let's just use an example. If I raised the normal $15 million, you know what? And I went back and looked at what they do with it, because it's all public record. They go and they take their staff and they go in private jets, they fancy hotels. I don't want to do none of that. I want to get a simple RV and go across America and talk to the American people and get the signatures needed to get on the ballot. Once I do that, the people will decide, am I genuine or I'm not? And I believe that people are going to see I'm genuine, that I really want to fight the same fight they want. You understand? And then if they decide to vote for me, that's fine. If I was elected, my promise to the American people would be this: I'll get up every single day. I'll surround myself with the best people in my cabinet, in the White House, that will be so good at what they do that they will teach me each and every day to be the best president there is. Oh, it's all about fighting. There's a lot of things that I say out of my mouth that people think I'm crazy. But you know what? In reality, how do you beat a ratchet person, a ratchet criminal who just goes and he kidnaps children and do what they do, or the drugs that come in this country? And here's the other thing: how do you stop corruption 100%? Corruption 100%? You can't. It's impossible, because there's too much money on the table. But I want to tell you this: if you believe one bit that our government, people in our government, not all, is not taking envelopes or not turning the eye or not allowing us in, you're very naive, because that's part of life. Now, I understand corruption. I understand drug dealers. I understand the streets. I understand that it's going to take someone strong. But here's the thing. Never be afraid, ever, to go sit down with anybody. It doesn't matter if they got the advantage because they got money. And people say, they'll crush you. They'll try to crush me. But I'll be a thorn in the side. And they're going to have to go all the way and take me out, because I'm not going to shut up. And I'm gonna get as many Americans behind me to know that I really care and we can make a change. Can we stop drugs from 100%? No. Can we control it? Yes. Can we not? We have a court system and justice system set up that everything's through a process. Okay? Maybe that process is not good enough to get the really bad people. Maybe it's not. So you got to think outside the box. So what's wrong with, if we know where 300,000 kids are that have been trafficked, and we've rescued 175,000 to date, okay? What's wrong if we know where they're at? The intel tells us where they're at, and I believe in my heart that they know. To go down there, wherever underground they're at, get them kids. And the people that have hurt them, why waste taxpayers' money? Do what you have to do to get those kids. And if that means the enemy that has hurt the kids by taking them down, by putting them where they need to go, then that's what we should do. You fight war. That's just another war. You don't fight it with the court system, because there's always going to be some high-priced lawyer that's going to find the loophole to get them out of it, or they're going to skate through something about being deported, something. And that's not fair to the people, that the kids that were taken or the women that were taken. My whole point is this. Political, raise the money, .com /EN/J Catalano is a campaign outlet that people can channel campaign funds, but goes then to the campaign bank. Okay, I've made sure that I'm set up where the bank is involved, accountant's get involved, and I will never misappropriate $1 of that fund. But I do need campaign donations. I'm not grifting, it's just a fact of life. Now, that being said, all I can say is this. For the people that don't understand me, try to get to know me. Why don't you just try instead of going after me the way you do, okay? If you think that I'm just a piece of garbage, I respect your thing. It's your right in the First Amendment. But a lot of people play that First Amendment in the wrong way, okay? Our amendments are there for a reason. Now, we don't have to agree with every law. We don't have to agree with, because there are some stuff that they do that is just terrible. But I don't believe we need to change the entire amendments. We need to enforce what's there and do it the right way. You understand? I need the media behind me. The media is everything for this campaign. I need people that believe in me, that I'm going to get up every day and I'm going to try to make a difference. Okay? So as I stand here today, I'm going to conclude this with this. My name is Joseph Samuel Catalano III. I am a guy that is a regular guy. I'm poor. I've never really accomplished anything major in my life. But I'm doing something today that's way above anything, bigger than I ever can be. And I'm not doing it for any clicks, views, fame, anything. I'm doing it because of what I believe in. Because my family is just as much messed up as the average family is, with the same kind of mistakes made. Nobody in this world has a perfect family. Everybody has someone in their family that has been bad. Someone has, in history, they could dig into it, they've done really bad. And there's a lot of people that got families that have made history. You understand? Anything is possible. This is the land of opportunity. And I am evolving every day to be a better man. And this campaign has taught me one thing. It's worth the fight. It's worth the fight, because America is worth fighting for. We're in the 250th year of our great existence. And I don't agree with every politician, but I don't say every politician is corrupt. But there's enough corruption that if you head it on the right way, and sometimes you got to do things that are way outside the box, and people say, you can't do that, you can't. But you can. There's ways of doing things and there's ways of doing things. All I'm saying is this. Get on board. I'm not asking for thousands of dollars from anybody. I'm asking for people to just listen to me, and $1, $2, $3 channel into raisethemoney.com /EN /J Catalano. It's political.raisethemoney.com /EN /J Catalano. Just believe in me. People have started to donate. My goal is this. And here's what I'm going to do. When we raise the money, we're going to buy a decent RV. Once we get Florida in the books with the signatures, we're going to start going to different cities and different towns, and we're going to campaign. We're going to meet with the seniors. We're going to meet with the universities. We're going to go out in the general public, just talk with everyday average people. And then, of course, it's going to come to the point where I got to sit down with rich people. And you know what? Rich people don't like poor people. They don't like people like me that are trying to hurt their pockets. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's pocket. I'm trying to just do right as much as I can and get out there and make America what it's supposed to be. I'm Joseph Samuel Catalano. I hope you got a better understanding of me. And I can tell you this, I speak from my heart. God bless you and God bless America. And let's just see what the future brings. And I'm willing to give up every day and try for this country and try for my family and your family. I love you, everybody. Have a great day.
There's a delay. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, so